A mysterious death curse washes over the land, driven by a powerful artifact known as the Soulmonger. 4 would-be heroes have been sent to the jungles of Chult to destroy the cause of this terrible affliction. Vale, the half-elven paladin, who's just now learning of his divinely granted powers. Ubo, the turtle monk from a distant land, who's as quick with his wit as he is with his staff. Brilinya, Asimar warlock, sent on this quest by her temple, discovering herself in this strange new land. And gunslinger Cole, tiefling artificer and archaeologist who may just dig up more than she bargained for. This motley band of adventurers must work together to brave the poisonous plants, venomous monsters, thundering dinosaurs, and rotting undead of the jungle. Join the omnipotent dungeon master Jake from mini-terrain domain to see if our heroes can find the Soulmonger, uncover the deeper mysteries of Chult, and free the world from the death curse. Welcome to the jungle. Welcome to Chult of Personality.
Well, hey there, everyone. I'm Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is MTD&D's Chult of Personality. And we've got a little bit of a new look. Every once in a while, I get tired of the old design, and I have to upgrade things. So, don't worry, the other players are still here. First, we're going to do a quick announcement. This is, as I said, episode 24 of our ongoing Tomb of Annihilation campaign, Chult of Personality. Be sure to click on the follow button on the channel, or consider using your Amazon Prime free subscription for any Twitch channel you like. Absolutely free, so consider using it here on MTD. I do want to promote something coming up this Thursday at 8:30 p.m. I am running a game that I've run once before, about 2.5 years ago. I am actually going to be running the Wards of Witching Ways, written by Christopher Zarathustra, better known to the masses as Christopher Perkins. This adventure is actually to my understanding, the first published adventure that Chris Perkins wrote for Dungeon Magazine number 11. And I will be joined by Castlemac Lydia, GSP Keegan, Wiley Hobbit, Castlemac Steven, and Throck Plays. So be sure to tune in for that adventure. It's one of my favorite adventures, and I wanted to give it another shakedown. This is going to be a 1 or possibly a 2-shot. So you'll have to tune in to see how long it continues for. Oop, there I am again. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to bring in the rest of the crew as we pop over to our new digs here. Hey, there's everybody. Because I wouldn't have a campaign stream without these 4 awesome players. Each of them are amazing dungeon masters and game masters who I've had the privilege of playing alongside and in all of their various games. Don't let Mike fool you with his head shake. He's a tremendous game master. And with that, I'm going to go around and have each of you introduce yourselves, tell us who you're playing, and where we can find you. And we're going to start with Mike.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Mike. I'm on the YouTube channel, Mike the Piper, where I haven't done shit in a little while. I'm not gonna lie to you, but yeah, I got no excuse. Other than that, you can also find me on Twitter under @mthepiper, where I talk to way cooler people than me, and sometimes they like it, and sometimes I have my own stuff to say. Maybe one day I will have my own stuff to say. I don't know. I'm playing. What the hell am I playing again? Hang on, let me look. Oh yeah, Vale Istafall. I'm playing the half-elf paladin who doesn't even really kind of feel like he's a paladin, and he just kind of going with the flow, super easygoing guy. And that's it. I don't know. I don't know. Is there any more? Okay.
We'll go down right below you on the overlay there, where we have Megan.
Hey everyone, I'm Megan. I am one half of the YouTube channel Dice on Ice, and yeah, I'll be playing Brilinya tonight, and I'm super excited again, as always.
Next up, it's our favorite turtle and everybody's favorite turtle, Ubo.
I don't think I've ever known someone else to play a turtle, so it's kind of I win by default, right?
That's right.
Guess,
it's Drake. His name's actually Drake. He's playing Ubo.
I run the YouTube channel, the RPG Construct. I keep planning on doing videos more, but just like Mike, they just don't happen all the time. But yeah, I'm playing Ubo, the turtle monk. Learning that monks can turn out quite a bit of damage when I can show up for the game. So we'll try to do more of that in the future, but super excited to be here today.
And last, but most certainly not least, is the one and only Marquise.
Hey everyone, I'm Marquise, breaker of railroads, as proven last session, much to Jake's sadness. Find me on my blog, marquise.blogspot.com. That's with 2 M's, and then marquise.blogspot.com. Come check it out. It's a nice place, weird stuff, opium and whatnot.
Yeah, I think last session was probably the closest I ever came to what you could call a railroad, and Marquise basically said, no way, and single-handedly put us in the position we are in now. Why don't you tell us, Marquise, what happened in the last session of Chult of Personality?
So, in order to start from last session, let's go back 2 sessions real quick. So we saved a bunch of dudes. It turns out all these dudes were a bunch of Wanti who were smuggling small amounts of opium on their bodies, which they then used to knock out literally everyone in the party that was not me or the giant Commandant that we have, known as Moy, who, well, he has a longer name, of course, but it's Aztec, so we don't get into that. Regardless, Brilinya was actually awake, but she decided to try and see what was going on. A very smart decision until the Wanti proceeded to get her high off of her ass and sent her into a terrible trip where she passed out alongside Vale and Ubo. Salida, noticing that Dunala was sleeping too far away, attempted to do the same to him. Dunala was not having any of it, knowing that secretly that there was some kind of mysterious being controlling these events to put us on a certain path. Not wanting to be put on this certain railroady path, Dunala proceeded to kill every single Wanti, knock out Salida, and then kill almost all of the pterodactyl people that she summoned. Of course, Moy provided some assistance, of course, and I accidentally happened to fireball Ubo, Vale, and Brilinya, but they didn't wake up, and so it did not even matter. And since we're having a long rest, the fireball never happened. So as Moy is saving our 3 companions from the falling, flaming buildings, well, not buildings, pieces of ship and trees and whatnot, Dunala he proceeds to tie up Salida, wake her up with the power of smelling salts, and then torture her for 9 hours to ensure she does not fall back to sleep. In which case, Brilinya wakes up, listens to what Dunala has to say, and then proceeds to completely disbelieve him until Salida attempts to brainwash her. Dunala, knowing that brainwashing is not fun, continues to torture Salida until Brilinya decides that torture is no longer the instrument we should be using. During all of this, Ubo is snoring, and Vale begins to have a very strong reaction to the opium he's on, and is currently astral projected into the heart of Ubtao, where he has met a half-elven creature who claims to be the voice of Ubtao. And so that's where the session ended, in the midst of his opium dream, to see what happens next.
And thank you, Marquise, for that unique Marquise spin on what happened last session, which I believe may be the first time Drake has even heard what happened last session. And that's, pretty much it. Drake, Marquise has the sum of it. And yes, while under the influence of the inhaled torpor or opium, as Marquise says, Vale has found himself more or less astrally projected across the jungles of Chult, where he has flown down through the petrified tree at the top of the heart of Ubtao, and is now inside a small grotto where a half-elven woman has just greeted him and said, "I've been waiting for you to arrive through more conventional means. I am the voice of Ubtao." What would you like to do, Vale?
Wake up! No, what do you mean you're the voice of Ubtao? I mean, I haven't exactly heard him through the jungle in time, but
I am one who is closest to Ubtao, and he has seen fit to allow me to speak for him. It is Ubtao who speaks through me to you. You have been on a long and perilous journey, Vale. You and your companions have faced many trials and tribulations, but you have still yet further to go.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're on our way. It's going to take us a little while, but you know, we'll get here eventually.
But where is it you are going, Vale?
Well, I mean, we seek the heart, don't we? I guess that would be here.
And you are now here at the heart. But what is your greater purpose, Vale? What is it that you seek to do? Why are you roaming the jungles of Chult? Are you wandering aimlessly?
Well, no, we've got a purpose, yeah. We're trying to find a cure for this death curse. Do you
Yes.
you know it? You can it, yeah? I mean,
Yes.
so
You
Just
seem to have lost sight of your goal, though. You have been wandering aimlessly, fighting with goblins, chasing ancient relics, and yet you've barely stepped foot into the hearts of the jungle. And with every passing day, those affected by the death curse are drawn ever closer to death.
well, I mean, if you really want to get nihilistic, we're all in the inevitable march toward our own deaths, aren't we? I mean,
Well, yes, in the
don't
Sylvian
want to.
Plath
I mean, I
sense
don't
of
want
the
to get
word.
existential on you, but I mean, it's pretty much exactly what's happening. But I mean, come on, just because, yeah, we've been a little sidetracked, we've been a little waylaid on a few things, but
And what of those, as you're waylaid, whose souls leave their bodies as they succumb to the death curse, and their soul is devoured by the soulmonger? What then, Vale? How many more souls will you bear upon your shoulders as you traipse around these jungles?
look, we can only bear so much. We are all working and doing what we can to find the cure, to end this, to destroy this soulmonger fella. Or fella, you know, not exactly going to place anything there, but when we do, then we will. For people die every day. And it's a sad fact of life. And yeah, right now, people can't just come back to life. But I'll not bear souls upon my shoulders for people who've died, people who've passed on from this realm, and who've had the unfortunate chance of having their souls destroyed. None of us will. And it's not fair for anyone to say that that blame rests solely upon us. You seem to have a lot of power. You can go and have a look at Port Nyanzaru. You can see the amount of adventurers there, all seeking out their fortunes, all walking around the jungles of Chult.
And how many of them, Vale, have been chosen by the god Ubtao himself?
I don't know. There's another fella I'm with, Dunala. He seems nice, but he seems a bit odd. He says he was, well, maybe not chosen by Ubtao, but he certainly does follow him. And yeah, maybe I was chosen by Ubtao. But what sort of a choice was to just digging around looking for things I can sell so I can get my next meal and finding some religious relic? I don't claim to understand anything, and I most certainly don't expect to know. I mean, you can't question a god, right? I mean, none of us can. None of us are supposed to.
And yet here you are, before the voice of Ubtao. Are we not conversing? Are we not talking back and forth with one another?
Okay, maybe you're the voice of Ubtao, but you're not exactly Ubtao now, are you? And besides, this could all be just some fevered dream. I could be waylaid unconscious somewhere where Dunal is probably doing something to me. Wouldn't doubt that. Probably putting flowers and other bits or something, and Ubo could just be sitting there laughing, probably drawing funny mustaches on my face with mud and whatnot, and Brilinya just tut-tutting away, hoping I wake up.
Well,
I hope it...
I will tell you this.
Right?
You are the chosen of Ubtao. You have been granted the powers of Ubtao. You feel Ubtao coursing through you, his very powers coursing through you, do you not?
Yeah, I guess I do. I mean, the more we delve into the jungle, the more alive I feel, the more, I don't know, the more like I feel like I belong. Like I don't want to run away anymore, like I want to stay here. But I don't know if I belong here.
It is for you to determine if and where you belong within the greater world, Vale. But know this, Ubtao has chosen you for a purpose. And that purpose is to be his representative, his envoy into these jungles. In his name, it is hoped that you and your allies will destroy the Soulmonger. You seem to constantly question just why Ubtao has chosen you, or whether he has chosen you. You even question that you are speaking to me here. It is true. You are not really here in the heart of Ubtao.
That was a bit of a tease.
You are hundreds of miles away, unconscious from the events that happened when the Yonti tried to steal you away to their lair for their own purposes. You see, many powerful factions are here in the jungles, trying to get to the Soulmongers for their own purposes. And then she kind of leans forward. But I know where the Soulmonger is, Vale. We haven't much time. As you kind of feel yourself just slightly starting to lift.
No, well then where is he? Where's the Soulmonger?
She gets up, she turns, she goes over to the desk, and she is kind of looking around for a moment, and then she lifts up some papers and she grabs a scroll. And she says, "Take this. It is but a small thing that I can offer you now. Grip it tightly as you return back to consciousness. Let this be the thing that confirms for you that you are on Ubtau's path. You must go," and she hands you the scroll. This is all happening at once, and you're starting to feel yourself rise up. And as you take the scroll, you hear her voice. "You must go south. Keep going south to Omu, the lost city of Omu." And you feel yourself rising up back through the petrified tree as she kind of looks up, and you just see the white of her elven features looking up at you as you recede, gripping tightly this scroll that she handed you. And very rapidly, you begin to recede back along the path, along the Aldani Basin, over the jungle, where you see the smoke has dissipated a bit, but the smoking ruins of what was the wreckage of the Star Goddess, as you are pulled further back and down into the jungle. And the last thing you see is the form of Dunala with Salida tied up, with Brilinya sitting there, and Ubo unconscious around the fire, as you suddenly slam into your body, and with a jolt, Dunala and Brilinya, you watch as Vale suddenly sits upright. What do you say, Vale, or what do you do?
First thing I do is look at my hand where I had the scroll.
Clutched tightly in your hand, pressed, squeezing the roll, wrinkled, is a parchment scroll. The same scroll that you were handed in your vision.
Okay. I don't even say anything. I just open it up.
Inside, it is a spell scroll for a magic you probably have not encountered yourself. You can read the sigils upon it, and you can get the concept of the spell.
Oh my god, I can call down meteors! Just kidding.
It's a new spell
That's right,
called Marquise's Meteor Swarm.
That's right.
It says in arcane writing across the top, it says Arcane Gate. Dunala, Brilinya, Vale has just awoken with a start after many hours.
Dunala has been busy for the last few hours. The bodies of every single Terrafolk and Wanti he has gathered and lined up on the ground to show to Ubo and Vale when they awake. Ever since he's completed that grisly task, he has not returned back to his fake human form. So he sits there before Salida and beside Brilinya, topless, so that way you can see the jade scales across his arms. His face is too angular, and the whites of his eyes are jade as well. And he looks at Vale when he shakes and opens that scroll. And then he looks to Brilinya, and he asks you, Brilinya, should I speak to him like this or like this?
I think whatever you did first, the snake, Yanti, it might give him a bit of a shock. Let's ease him into what's happening.
As you say. And when he says that, his body like shivers like a heat haze will. And then once again, the jade scales are just scarification. His eyes are normal. He looks like normal Dunala again. Vale, I see you are awake, Pretzel of Ubtau. How was your nap?
I was there. I was at the heart. We're going the wrong way. We have to go south. I'm gonna start trying to get up, shaky, but trying to get out.
Vale, perhaps you should look around at all the dead bodies, or how your guide is tied up against this tree, and I've been torturing her for the last 24 hours. 21, actually. 21 hours. You have missed much while you were sleeping, my friend.
Well, then, untie her or leave her tied up, but we have to go south.
Vale,
Huh.
you're being stupid.
Well,
No, no. Brilinya, you talk to him. He likes you more than he likes me.
Why don't you just sit down and just take a moment? I know you look like you saw something, but
no, I did. I have this. And I'll just wave the parchment around like a crazy person would.
what is that? Where did you get it?
I was in the art of Ubtao. While I was asleep or passed out, wherever this was, I was actually somewhere else. I was in the heart of Ubtao. I spoke to the voice of Ubtao. Some half-elven woman. What's up with Ubtao and half-elves? Anyway, doesn't matter. She told me that we have to go south. And we're going the wrong way to the lost city of Umu?
Omu.
That's it. Omu. We have to go to the lost city of Omu.
Okay, we will. But, well, I mean, we have to wait till Ubo wakes up, for starters, and we have to decide what to do with Salida.
Why? Well,
Do you want to explain, Scar the Dove Brilinya, or should I explain?
Do not look. Just go ahead.
Well, Vale, if you would come with me, you would.
all right. Yeah, no, hang on. All right, Salida, what's going on? Do you try to backstab us, or are you trying to run away without guiding us still?
To cast another spell on him, Salida, remember, I will continue to torture you if you do so.
Well, you possessed or something?
She looks at you, Vale, and you see her eyes blink twice, but it's two different sets of lids. And then you see these serpentine eyes where her regular eyes have been. I guess you could say I showed my true colors. And Donala did not like it. Why don't you show him your true colors?
This is such a gentle way to put it, Salida. Why do you insist on trying to hide the truth? Before anything else, please wake up Ubo. Ubo is very slow to catch on to things. Brilinya, if you would, I don't want to go over this whole performance a fourth time.
Well, who knows when he's going to wake up? It's been hours.
I'm going to walk over to Ubo and hit him with the smelling salt technique.
All right, well then, Ubo, you describe how you wake up with the smelling salts in your nostrils.
I think what Dunala would see is just kind of the nostrils just kind of twitching, but he wouldn't jump up or anything. He would just kind of sit up and, put his arms up and he would just kind of look around and everything. What'd I miss?
Just a standard assassination attempt. It failed, of course, as they all want to do. Don't worry, Dunala will explain everything. And then he stands up and he points to the rows and rows of dead bodies he has assembled. All of them charred, half destroyed, some decapitated, some clearly killed by the Commandant that's in Vale's service. And he points to the ones who look more humanoid and he says, those are all the quote-unquote crew members of the Star Goddess, I think it was. They were Wanti. If you don't know what the Wanti is, well, she's a Wanti and I'm a Wanti. We are, how would you put it, Brilinya?
Snake things? People?
Yes. Snake things works. So
I've
regardless,
read about them. I've never seen them though.
I disguise myself. For a number of reasons. But regardless, Salida has been disguising herself as well. It's basically, to make a long story short, for my good friend Ubo, and he rubs you like on the top of your head, Ubo, and then he looks to Vale. She attempted to have us all kidnapped. I systematically killed the mole. She summoned a bunch of terrorfolk, whose corpses you can see there. I then systematically killed all of them too. Your Commandant, Moy, no, sorry, not Moy, I was naming it. Your Commandant was a huge help. He helped me slaughter them. And then we all dragged your bodies over here. I tied up Salida, and I have been making sure that she doesn't try anything else.
And I slept through all of that.
Ah, yes. They hit you with some kind of poison, I believe. I'm not quite sure what the details of it were. It knocked out all three of you, of course. Salida was going to give it to me, but I am 1T as well. I am immune to poisons.
And with all of that, you can see in Ubo's eyes that he is so confused right now. His mind is swimming. He's just going to look to Vale and look to Brill, stand up and just kind of stretch again. You'd hear like pops and cracks. Are you two okay?
Brilinya would nod and she says, I've been awake for hours. Vale just woke up too.
So what do we do with her? And he points at Salida tied up at the tree.
Well, I've been waiting for you and Vale to wake up as well. As I understand, she is your guide, and so we should all be making this decision. I advocate that we first get answers from her, and then we kill her. Now, Brilinya does not want to kill her, understandably. She has been with you guys for a long time. But not to make a terrible pun, she is quite literally a snake in the grass and will kill you at the first possible chance she gets.
Okay. It's too early. I just woke up. Shut up for a moment.
It's 6 p.m.
Brill or Vale, can one of you get into her head? Do either of you have that way? I don't. You were an angel over there with wings. I don't know what happened, Brill, but could you use some of those powers to get in her head and get what we need? I don't want to kill anybody, but if everything this guy says is true, maybe we could do it with less pain or violence.
If I had anything, I would have used it by now. I heal the body. I can't get into the mind.
Don't worry. I'll do it. Stand back. Okay, the power of Ubtao is going to be shown right now. And I'll just walk over to Salida. All right, Salida. How's you?
She's just staring at you.
So, why'd you do it? Like, is it something to do with me? Or is it something to do with one of them?
You think you are so important?
No, I don't. But there's some god out there that does. But I'm just asking, there's a reason why you're gonna kidnap the lot of us and take us back to your little hideout place. So why? What for? You're gonna kill us, you're gonna eat us. You're gonna eat us and then kill us. I hope it wouldn't be that way around. That would just be terrible.
Dunala,
Mm-hmm.
roll me an insight check.
Yeah.
You're muted.
Sorry, I have a 23 on that.
You see as Salida she licks her lips. She's parched. She's sleep deprived. But as Vale kind of sits in close, you see her snake tongue flick out in the same way that it flicked out when she was attempting to cast suggestion on
As
you
her mouth
before.
opens, she's going to be covered in the shadows and dreams of ants and insects and scorpions and spiders. It's infestation again to keep her from doing it.
Is there a...
Yeah, it's a con save, DC 16.
And I'm going to say she's exhausted because you've kept her awake for pretty much 24 hours. That is a 3.
So this would happen right in front of you, Vale. And Dunal would wait until you looked at him before he would answer why he did this, if you did that.
As Salida, she barely has the... I imagine this has happened several times. And her voice is hoarse. She can't even scream anymore. As she just kind of thrashes and writhes against her bindings in front of you, Vale.
Look, we don't have to do this. All right? Salida, you don't have to do this. I'm not mad at you. Don't want to kill you. Don't want to end you. I mean, after all, and don't think, and I'm just going to kind of point off in the direction of Dunala. I'm just going to keep my eyes on Salida. Don't think, Dunala, that I don't see you rolling your eyes, but if you're exactly like her, then how the fuck are we supposed to trust you?
Well, I did save your lives in the last 24 hours by preventing this from happening. And to be honest, Vale, if I was going to try and do something with any of you, I would have left a long time ago. I've seen what you're capable of, and I've stayed here despite the fact that you, Vale, personally, have made 3 death threats towards me. Now,
Yeah, true.
I am a lot like Salida in the fact that I am a 1T. We share the same mind in many ways. However, I am not a threat to you.
All right, Salida, then why are you a threat to us?
How long is this effect persisting, Dunala?
It's just I'll stop casting it once he asks her a question. But I'm running an action just to cast it again if I see that forked tongue.
You see as this stops, she just kind of sags against her bindings. And I'll say with that 23 you got on insight, you can see that you think you've pushed Salida to her breaking point. As fine. You want to know why I did it. You think that we were going to kill you. I have been traveling with these 3 for more than 15 days. I could have killed them at any time if I wanted to, but I did not. Vale, did I not fight alongside you? Did I not, Brilinya, help you bury Cole? Ubo, have I not been with you every step of the way since Port Nyanzaru? I have huddled with you in the storm. I have sweat with you in the heat. I have paddled with you on the river. And I have fought and been wounded alongside each of you.
Then why, Salida? Why is this? Where were you going to take us? You and your mates. I guess your mates?
Have any of you ever heard? And she looks to you, Dunala. Of Ras Nasi.
Why are you mentioning that name? We went over this recently, yesterday, 2 days ago, in fact, when you told Vale the story, and I told Vale the story.
It has been a long day. I don't remember what I have told you. You have pushed me farther than any humanoid should push another without killing them. Raznesi wants to see you.
You, as in all of us? You as in me? You as in Vale?
All of you. You seek the soulmonger. Raznesi, through me, has been following your progress. the entire way and has grown impatient with your progress.
I would walk over to Dunala and just tap him on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Who?
Ah, I will sum this up for you quickly because I forgot you were not there. You were off being chased by undead dinosaurs. He was a former champion of Ubtao. He decided that was no longer the life he wanted to pursue, and so he broke his oath. He cursed all of Chult with undead. All undead, of course, now come from Ras Nasi, and then he was defeated and disappeared. It would seem he has joined the Wanti, and perhaps is a Wanti himself.
Okay.
Basically, imagine an evil Vale with more snake on top of it.
Wait,
Got it.
is Razna Z the soulmonger?
No, Raznesi is not the soulmonger. Raznesi seeks the soulmonger, as do many factions.
So he seeks to put an end to the death curse then.
Raznesi, he is touched by the curse himself. Raznesi is dying, so he wants to find the soulmonger too. He does not want to die.
Well, I have to admit, I'm getting real tired of a whole bunch of people telling us we're not moving fast enough. Well, I'm sorry that the four of us really love to fucking roleplay. But we're gonna get there as fast as we fucking can.
You say that Ras Nasi is dying from these death curse, correct?
Yes.
That is a fantastic bit of information that makes me want to move even slower to this soulmonger. If Ras Nasi was to die before we stop this soulmonger, Chult as a whole would be better off. The undead curse would be easier to curb. The greatest enemy my people have ever known would be destroyed. Why does he think I would want to help him? That the champion of Ubtao would want to help him? Is he that desperate, Salida?
Have you heard of the Red Wizards?
Who hasn't heard of the Red Wizards? Ubo, the Red Wizards, they're a nation of evil lizards. I'll keep it simple for you.
Yeah, no, the real dicks. Like, you know how sometimes you look at me and you think that I'm a dick. Okay, well, you multiply that but like 5 million times, and that's like how much dicks these guys are.
The Thayans are all very bad people. Continue, Salida. What about the Red Wizards?
Have you heard of the Weeping Friars?
Rumors here and there.
At that, Brilinya's face just goes white.
And actually, Vale and Ubo. Actually, Ubo, I'm not sure you were there for that incident.
Wait,
But
was
Vale
that where they followed her?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
I was
Ubo.
there for
Okay.
that. I was there for that. I
Dunala
just don't
wasn't.
remember.
So Brilinya's face goes white at the mention of the Weeping Friars.
What do the Reaping Friars have anything to do with this?
The Red Wizards of Thay. The Weeping Friars. I am even convinced that Artus Simba himself is here for the same reason. They'll want a soulmonger for themselves. For their own reasons. Everybody seeks this same thing. All of you, well, most of you, were hired to find the soulmonger and destroy it for trinkets at the behest of your patron. But there are other powerful forces that seek to do much great evil with this. Ras Nasi saw your potential and wanted me to bring you to him so that you could help to find the soulmonger and destroy it.
But if that was what we were starting to do anyway, why would you hide that from us? That doesn't make any sense.
Because of their 1T, Ubo. You don't understand because you don't know the 1T. The 1T say they want to destroy the Soul Monger. Likely they may destroy it and then learn how to reverse engineer it and learn how to use it themselves. The 1T wants power just like the Fizzers do. They're no different.
So they're just assholes.
Yes.
Got
Well,
it.
why don't we just throw the Soulmonger into like a volcano or something? I mean, that done and gone, right? There's got to be a volcano here on Chult. I mean, at least one or two.
We do have active fire here, but we don't know what the Soulmonger is. We don't know if it's a person, an object, a weapon, a place.
Nobody knows where it is. Exactly.
Well, no, but that's why I have to go to the lost city of...
Omo, that's what you said.
Yeah. The
How?
lost city of Omu.
She looks at you with genuine surprise. How have you known this and not said anything before, Vale?
No. When I was asleep, I went to the heart of Ubtag. Oh, I can't even believe I'm even saying this. I don't believe it. But anyway, I talked to this really nice half-elven woman, and she gave me this great advice on where the Soulmonger is. We have to go to the lost city of Omu to find the Soulmonger. Well, I was unconscious. It makes sense in my head. Anyway, I've got this scroll that's some sort of, hang on a minute, just kind of unroll it. Arcane Gate.
It is a powerful spell you have in your hands there.
Yeah, true. So this has to help, right? I mean, I'm sure if we just, I don't know, recite whatever incantations on air, we could just, sod on in, give the old Soulmonger what for, and I don't know, be back in time for a couple of quick pints and some of those yakka beetles at Port Nine Zaru. Hey, Brill.
Brill's just like a PTSD mode.
Fuck that. Yeah, fuck you and your fucking yakka beetles, fucking guys.
Listen, Solida, I have many questions for you. Soulmonger aside, I understand, Vale, and I apologize in advance. The Soulmonger is very important, and I aim to help you complete your quest. But Solida knows many things that I do not know, that I must learn. This is why I'm in these jungles in the first place. Solida, were you born a Wanti?
I have always been a Yonti.
Where are your other compatriots, the Wanti? Where do they hide here in this jungle?
I was to take you there.
I didn't ask what your intentions were. I asked you, where did your people come from? Where did they live?
We all live in the temple. Under the palace of Omu.
All right. So you're also from Omu. That is good, Vale. Our destinations are the same. Now then, Solida, next question. How does one stop being a Wanti? Is there a way to strip Dinda out of you?
She kind of gives you a puzzled look. Why would you not want to be a Yonti?
I take
Why
that as
would
a
you not want why would you not want Dendar's blessing?
Dunala stands up and he lifts an index finger and it begins to crackle with this dark, almost like heat haze, dreamlike sphere at the top of it. And he says to Solida, but also to the rest, she cannot answer any more of my questions. She doesn't know what I need to have answered. Can I kill her now?
No.
She's dangerous, Brill. If we leave her alive, she will sabotage us in the future.
Listen, she said that she knows where Omu is. She can lead us there.
We have a map. She can mark it. We can find our own way there. She is dangerous. There will be more ambushes. We have a spell scroll that can take us there automatically, as Vale now has. This woman, Salida, has no more purpose to live.
She does. She has purpose. We might not know it yet, but she does. She's helped us. She's been there. She didn't want to kill us. She was just...
She did it. You pretend like she has emotion. But she does not have emotion. I do not have emotion. She lies. We're all fantastic liars.
Hey, with that,
Reflect.
Ubo will take a few steps between Dunala and Salida, and just kind of cross his arms, look at Brill, and look over at Dunala, and just say very kind of nonchalantly, "We do what she says," and he just stares at you, Dunala.
Dunala doesn't turn to face you. He keeps looking at Brilinya, and he says to you again, Brilinya, she has lied to you. She has done everything she could to make you trust her. So that's why when her master told her to kidnap you, your guard would be so low it'd be like kidnapping a babe.
And what if I said I had done the same thing? Would you turn and kill me as well?
Brilinya, I would not be able to kill you. These two here, Vale and Ubo, would not allow it. It is that simple. But I am a very good judge of character, Brilinya. I know you're not lying. Salida, she's always been dangerous. She's always been one step off, always one step different.
Everyone has made mistakes.
This is not a mistake that Salida has made. It has been a cold, calculated plan.
Choice. It's a choice.
And it is not a choice that should be allowed to be repeated. And believe me, it will be repeated if we let her live.
And with that, Ubo would just kind of look at Brill, and he would say, "We've all made bad choices. Just because we make one doesn't mean we have to do it again."
We can't kill her. That's not right. It's not. She has done too much for us.
Vale, you seem to be the deciding vote here. Dunala says to kill her, we say no. What do you say?
Salida, have you ever been to Omu before?
I have been to Omu. It is where the temple is. The temple of the
I
Night
don't know
Serpent.
much about spells, but I'm pretty sure that this spell can only be done if someone's already been to the place that we want to go to before. Now, I'm not a wizard. Thank God, they're kind of ponces. But I know that we need someone who's been there. Have you been there, Dunala? You been to Omu before?
It is called the Lost City for a reason. Vale.
Right. But you've been there, Salida. And right now, if we activated this spell scroll, we could be in Omu, I don't know, before tea.
You do not possess such magic.
Yeah, no, it's right here. I'm just kind of wave the scroll around.
His hands, do you not, Salida? I've tortured you, but I've not taken your sight.
Is the scroll open or closed?
It's closed, but I mean, I'm just kind of...
She
It's
looks
rolled
at.
up.
She just looks at you and says, "You. There is no spell that will take you to Omu.
He is
Nobody
baiting
knows
you,
where
Vale.
Omu is to have such a spell."
He is baiting you, Vale.
Look, I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night, Dunala, so don't worry about it. Look, right now, Salida, you stand at the cusp of one or two things. You can come and help us right now. No more pretenses, no more lies, no more sneaking around. None of that. You can come and help us. We can destroy the Soulmonger. You can be a hero. Probably even give you like a bunch of gold and other stuff. And you like gold. Who doesn't like gold? I like gold. Brilinya likes gold. Ubo is Ubo. But the thing I'm trying to get at is that you can be something. You can do a change. You can be the change we want you to be, right? Or you can you can be here bleeding out, the throat slit, and you dead. But I don't want that because I like you. I really do. Like you're actually a pretty nice person. Just I don't know. You're kind of not being so nice right now. So why don't you just come with us
She
and
blinks.
stop this pretense, stop this nonsense, take us to Omu, and let's finish this.
She blinks her eyes again with the dual lids, and the serpentine eyes go away, and you see her more human eyes as she looks up at you, Vale. I like you too, Vale. I like all of you.
I am not going to listen to your lies again, Salida. Now you've made me raise my voice for the 15th time. Tell them the truth. Because even if it means Ubo breaking both of my arms, if you lie one more time, I will scatter your brains across the entirety of Chult. And you know I will do it because I have done it to every single companion that you have.
I will never be able to tell you anything as long as this maniacal person is constantly interrupting me. I am tied up. I cannot move. I cannot escape. I have already told you that we are at the same purpose, the same goal, to find a soulmonger. The methods we used to
spinner, Salida, because you can spin your words into so many different types and shapes, but I see through them. I see what you are saying. Vale, please listen to me. You do not need to trust me. You do not need to think I am a good person. But I tell you this in complete and honest truth. Our kind do not feel emotion. She does not like you. I cannot like you. She cannot like anyone. Everything she is saying is a lie to get free. Because the moment we take her to Umu, she will be fleeing back to her masters.
Dunala. What will it take for you to believe?
Salida, I will never believe a word that ever comes out of your mouth until you start talking to Vale, Brilinya, and Ubo as you actually are.
Would it help you to be able to speak directly to Raznisi himself?
I do not want to speak to that monstrosity for fear of what he would do to me, what he's done to all of you.
You do not have to speak to him in person. You can speak to him now.
No. Take out your eyes, Salida, and talk to Vale as you honestly intend.
Make intimidation at advantage.
It's a natural 20 for a 25.
Does Marquise roll with any dice that have numbers lower than 18?
Whoa, I have failed many rolls, thank you. And last session, I didn't have to make it.
Uh-oh. Marquise got so worked up, he froze for a second there.
Now my Ethernet cord popped out.
Yeah, so she looks at you. Then she looks back at you, Vale. And she blinks again. And as she does so, her entire features seem to kind of ripple. And for the first time, she reveals her true form. As Brilinya, you would have seen Dunala kind of in his more of a pureblood state. As Salida's eyes are emerald green, her nose seems to be flatter, and her nostrils more slit-like. Her face very angular and long. And you can see down her neck and disappearing under her armor scales. There you go, Dunala. I have stripped away the last of any pretense.
All right. So, what?
Vale.
I mean, yeah. No. Yeah, no, go on.
Rosnisi wants you all in Omu. He wishes to speak to you.
You
To
know, move.
assist in the locating and capture and destruction of this soulmonger. It is as simple as that. If you do not believe me, I have a sending stone in my pocket. Rosnasi has the other sending stone. We came under the cover of night while you were sleeping because we did not believe that if Rosnisi or myself or any of the other Yonti were to come to you in our true form, you would do anything other than fight us. It is unfortunate that Dunala was awakened. The Terrafolk, as she kind of nods over to the dead Terrafolk, were simply to make it easier to transport you. All of us. It is a long way to the temple. It is as simple as that.
Works for me.
Our goals are both the same.
I agree. So
We-
let's free her and let's go. We're wasting daylight here. I tell you what, Dunala. How about this? First moment you see just a flicker of insurrection or
I can kill her.
attempted
Yes.
conspiracy.
I
Yeah,
know what you
there
would
you go.
say.
You know,
I already assumed you would say that. I understand
Yeah.
you well enough.
yeah, and
What?
we're all
No,
gonna
he'll
keep
make
it.
something up.
No, hang on a second. But
He
of
needs to
course,
be as far away from Salida as possible.
Brilinya, if I was going to kill Salida before she tries something else, I would kill her right now. It's that simple. I don't need to see her to kill her. I don't need to move a muscle or say a word to kill her. So if I was going to do it before meeting Vale's requirements, she would not be alive right now. I still believe her to be a danger. I think this decision is a horrible decision, but I will obey the Predator of Utah as long as I must.
Do
You okay?
shut
Jake?
up, Ubo. Christ's sakes. Stop wrangling around in your knapsack if you're hungry. Here, just have some rations.
I thought somebody was breaking into my room behind me.
Right,
I got
well
nothing to add. I'm just following, so whatever.
then. Fine. And we'll cut her free and we'll go. So I'll just grab my dagger and I'm gonna cut her bonds.
I have a ready to action to Chaos Bolt in case she does anything I don't like.
Yeah, but within reason. I mean, come on.
Reason she can do some things I don't like, but not everything I don't.
Sneezing or
You cut away the ropes, which I believe Dunala had used every rope available to basically hog tie her. She's kind of been tied with her arms to her side, her hands behind her back, tied to her leg, kind of on her knees up against a tree for the last 24 hours. As you cut her loose, she's with very much difficulty stretching out her legs and trying to get just back to a straight position. Would you still continue your trek on foot? I can still summon, perhaps, transport for us in the same way as was planned. It will take some time for them to arrive.
Well, what about this scroll? I mean, is it going to work? Can it get us right to Omu right away.
May I? And she kind of holds her hands up and down, like up and then kind of pushes them back. I just want to look.
Do not put it in her hands, but show her, I guess.
And so I do. I just kind of unroll it.
Brilinya, Dunala, Ubo, I imagine you all can see the scroll as well. Anybody looking at the scroll can make an Arcana check. Vale, you've looked at it, so you can give me an Arcana check as well.
14.
Got a 15.
I got a 13. Come on, Drake, nat 20.
Ubo, you don't know anything about magics, do you?
A little bit, but Ubo wouldn't be worried about it.
Brilinya, all of you can read that it says Arcane Gate. Brilinya, you actually, as you're looking at it, the sigils and the markings, this scroll is a magical scroll that the spell has been written and cast upon it, that it simply takes a caster of the right caliber to be able to read it. But it doesn't appear as though it would teleport you to a specific location. From what you can see, the way this spell works is you have two locations within line of sight that are anywhere up to 500 feet apart, and you create a magical gate that allows you to step instantly between those 2 points. Vale,
so,
roll insight and at advantage. Go ahead, Brilinya, if you were going to say something.
She would just relay that information of what she gathered to the rest.
And what'd you get there, Vale?
21.
As you kind of realize you've been touting this as the key to getting to Omu, you realize that this voice of Ubtao probably just grabbed whatever was on her desk to put in your hands to show you that she was real, that it wasn't just a dream, that it was just a matter of saying, hey, this was a real thing.
Fucking hell.
It's kind of funny because I did not intend for you to think that it was a teleportation directly to Omu, but you took it that way.
Suddenly, Vale's like, wait a second. He's just like counting on his fingers, like,
You thought you had the ticket that takes you through all the way from New York to L.A., but really this just gets you to Chicago.
If you've ever seen like the movie The Hangover, remember that scene where he's like learning like all the blackjack stuff? He has the calculations on the screen. I feel like that's Vale right now as he has a sudden realization.
And Brilinya kind of, she just reveals that to you that, well, this is it is a powerful spell. It's just for a much shorter distance.
This is useless, Vale. This will not get us any closer to Omo. Well, 500 feet closer, yes, technically, but not any closer to Omo.
All right, well, let's take the...
No. Terrafolk? No.
All right, well, how long would it take us to walk the, 200 plus miles to Omu? How long will that take?
Oh, you're asking me. Excuse me. Allow me to explain something, because you are foreign, and I forget this sometimes, Vale. Terrafolk have been killing and consuming Chultans for a long time now. Now, I'm assuming it will be 2 Terrafolk, 2-person, because they were trying to capture us with nets earlier when I was killing them, which means we would all be in different nets, which means I'm in a separate net than you are, Vale. And Salida knows that I am a threat, correct? Which means that dropping me from a net and allowing me to fall several hundred feet to my death would be child's play, and you could do nothing about it, and Brilinya could do nothing about it, And Ubo could do nothing about it, because none of you can fly. Well, Brilinya can fly, of course, but she will not be able to catch me because she would be inside of a net. You're asking me to throw my life away to get to this place faster.
I agree with Junala as much as it pains me.
Rosnisi has the Terrafolk under his control.
And
That is why
Rosnasi,
they were working with us.
you know, Salida, that I am a threat to you specifically. These three don't know you. I know you. You would kill me at the first chance you get. Rosnasi would want me dead at the first chance he could have. I am not stupid, Salida.
Rosnisi would not necessarily want you dead. You come to the temple. You see what is being done in the service of
Terrafolk
Dendar
are
the
a
Night
mistake,
Serpent.
They are a mistake. At this point, you might as well just summon demons and have them take us over there. Because that is what you are thinking of. That is what you're considering doing right now. Is summoning the Chultan's own version of demons.
Hey, Brill. We're hundreds of miles from Waterdeep, thousands of miles from Luskan, nowhere near any sort of major civilization, and we still can't fucking escape politics. I really think we should go further into the jungle. Look, fine, then. If you are so afraid that the Terrafolk are gonna drop you, or kill you, or stab you, or eat you, or then drop you and eat you, or then eat you and drop you, which actually makes more sense.
Or it would make
Fine.
more sense really to drop me and then eat me, because I can fight back if they drop me first. You see what I'm saying?
Well, true enough, but if they eat you, they're definitely gonna drop you when they're done with you.
You're correct. You're correct. I'm being dropped one way or the other.
Yeah. Digestive system's a hell of a way to go. All right, fine. Then we walk. It's only... How long would it take us to get there, Salida, if we walked?
Well, you do still have the boat. The original plan was to travel by river to the basin. And eventually, now knowing where you are actually heading, if we continue to head south through the basin, that will take us the better part of 100 miles. That is still,
Alright.
by water, is still a 10-day.
Well,
And that gets us halfway there.
all right. Then let's go.
May I ask, Ubo, why are you making that face? You've been making very strange faces this entire time, Ubo. I am slightly confused.
So am I.
That makes sense. I figured you would say that, Ubo. Anyway.
No, Ubo's just this is a lot. Ubo was asleep through all this shit. Ubo is still really not sure what he's doing. He knows one thing: to protect Brill, and that's all he's ever been any good at on this trip. He's not going to try to think. He's not going to try to. He's just going to try to stop people from getting hurt, and he's going to go along with whatever the group decides, and really not have much to say about it.
Now, we will need either the Commandant, Ubo, or Vale to carry Salida for a good while. I have
I'll do it. It's fine.
ensured that she could not move very much.
Just a reminder, you guys do have a shield guardian at your command as well.
I said Vale, I meant to say Vorn. Excuse me.
Can we tie her to the shield guardian?
It is not necessary to tie me. Where will I go? I can
I don't
barely
know.
walk.
But I would like to tie you to the Shield Guardian. It would put my heart at ease. Oh, you're a man of very practical thinking sometimes. I appreciate it. Now then, if it is okay with Vale and Brilinya, I would like to now attach her to Vaughn. She will be safer there, surely, than on top of one of our backs. She will be able to eat and drink.
How are you going to secure her? She's not going to resist you at all.
We still have a lot of rope, so I mean, even if the rope's been cut, I could just retie the rope and knots.
But I mean, how are you tying her to Vorn?
I haven't thought that far ahead yet. I don't know if Brill or Vale's going to let me do it yet.
She can just ride on the shoulders of Vorn. I think that will be fine. If she tries to get off, Vorn picks her up, puts her back on her shoulder.
It is very pragmatic, Brilinya. I like it.
I cannot, in my current state, easily climb up there.
Brilinya would kind of signal to Vorn to kind of come over and kind of help her.
One moment, Brilinya, please. She has a sending stone in her pocket. I would like for one of us to be carrying it, not her.
Damn it, I was hoping you'd forget about that. I literally was just thinking, dang, nobody said anything about the
As
sending stone.
Dunala pierces once again the techniques of the DM, he will literally walk over to her and then take the sending. Well, search her pockets for the sending stone.
She doesn't resist, and you find in her left pocket a smooth, sort of flat stone that has carved into it the semblance of a snake head.
He holds it out for Brilinya to take. It is better if you carry this. I know that you do not trust me. This will help you slowly trust me a little bit more.
What does it do?
Well, if it is a sending stone, as she says, it will allow her one-way communication, well, two-way communication, really, with whoever has the other stone, which she says is her Wanti leader, Raz Nasi.
So, whoever, if Brill has the stone,
It
this
needs to be
Raz Nasi
attuned
can
to.
hear Brill?
No. If
That
she
is not
attunes-
how it works. You must be very deliberate to speak
Okay.
into it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Brilinya, and he hands it again to you.
She kind of takes it and then she just kind of like holds it gingerly between her thumb and her forefinger and just kind of looks at it.
It won't bite you, Brilinya.
She just nods and just puts it into some sort of pocket.
Salida looks over to where she was tied up and to where Dunala sat vigil over her, torturing her for the last day. And off to the side, where her sword belt and her scimitars and her bow are. Will you not allow me to defend myself and continue to fight alongside you? We have a long ways to go. You have chosen to go by foot. And we are going into the heart of the jungle. There will be much worse deeper we go. She's addressing you directly, Dunala.
Dunala looks at her, then he looks at Vale, and he looks to Brilinya. And he says to you, Brilinya, I assume he wants me to give her back her weapons.
No.
Dunala smiles at that, and he says, you're growing smarter, Brilinya. I think that is very good. And then he walks over to the weapons they're at, and he says, we have, how many scimitars are there? 2 scimitars and the bow and arrows?
2 scimitars and a... No, sorry, it was 1 scimitar, a dagger, and a short bow.
He's going to take the short bow, and then and then break it over his knee, and then he's going to pick up the scimitar, and he's going to throw it to you, Vale. Arrows are useless without a bow, so there you go.
I already have a bow.
I broke the bow. Obviously, I know you have a bow. I'm giving you the scimitar, so that way she does not have the scimitar. Salida, I will give you the arrows. You can use the arrows like a dagger if you wish, if you get in trouble. And then he will throw the quiver of arrows up to her.
She catches them and just stares at you, blinking with her emerald serpent eyes.
The dagger will stay here. It will mark where you were lying for the last 24 hours, like a memento.
You're a pretentious asshole.
I try. Anyway,
that was half Salida, half DM. Salida, have you helped her up onto the shoulders of Vorn at this point, or had Vorn pick her up, or?
Yeah, I think Vorn would have kind of held her just gently and helped her onto his shoulders.
So, mighty heroes of the jungle of Chult, what will we do next?
Level up to level 7.
Vale said we were walking south, yes?
So glad I got you with that, Mike.
As if you guys will remember, you had left the river and gone about a day inland. You know that you are, from previous knowledge, you're roughly about a day's journey from Camp Vengeance, which would also take you back to the river. And that the plan was to take the river originally into Aldani Basin. And now you know you can continue to travel through the wetlands and further south. Or you can just, if you travel straight south, you will eventually hit Camp Vengeance, if that's your plan.
It is a good thing to go to Camp Vengeance and a bad thing too. If you go to Camp Vengeance with a prisoner and they know what the prisoner is, they will kill the prisoner. They will kill a Wanti.
Well, if that's the case, then we don't tell them.
They don't have to know what I am if you don't want them to. And she kind of shudders again and turns back to her previous human Chultan appearance.
Just like, I mean, we don't have to walk into Camp Vengeance and scream at the top of our lungs that we've been taken capture by an evil Yanti sorcerer.
If they believe that I could control the three of you, that would be the biggest compliment you could pay me, Vale. But regardless, I see what you're saying. In that case, yes, we should probably go to Camp Vengeance. We will need supplies if we want to go deeper into the jungle.
I agree. I think we can all agree on that. Plus, maybe they have a nice tavern. Maybe we can sit down, have a pint, relax. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do about Vaughn. I mean, he's going to be kind of tough to just kind of walk into the place and say, look, don't mind him. Do you have any giant iron golem parking places that we could just, kind of lash him to?
And your Commandant.
Oh, yeah, no, he's fine. She's fine, actually.
Well,
Moyo's an absolute sweetheart, and she won't cause no trouble, no nothing. And if anyone tries anything, we may be kicked out of camp because we're going to have to kill them.
All right. That works, do Nala.
So we go south.
I say we go south to Camp Vengeance, and yeah, we'll have a pint. First pint's on me. There you go. And that's you too, Salida. I think I'm not buying you a pint or wine. Not really expensive wine though, but not that rich.
You can't get drunk.
Wonderful.
Really, you can't get drunk?
I say poison.
All right, I'll give you that one. That's stretching it a little, I think. But Dix, now I want to be a Yanti. Like in real life.
I'm going to leave it to you. Do you guys want to continue on a little bit, or do you want to call it at this break point? It's a little bit shorter session than usual, but it was a heavy RP session.
They're all heavy RP sessions, man.
And
I'm down for pushing it for another hour, but I'll leave it up to everybody else.
We'd only push for about a half hour anyway. This leaves us in a good point to start the next session with everyone showing up at Vengeance, since that's where you're headed.
I think that Brill, like before they get going, Brill would just kind of say to everyone, well, and I guess now that they're involved, I should probably tell you about the Weeping Friars.
That sounds very ominous.
That'll be
Don't know, but
that'll be a good RP session. It also brings me to the point, and I'm going to go ahead and do this live because anybody watching will want to know this. We know, well, actually, it doesn't matter because we already called it. So I was going to make a decision, but I forgot we already called it. There will not be a session next week because Megan will be still traveling for caught up in the events of Absolute Tabletops at Con, and I have a work event next Monday. So we won't be missing any players or having to work around Brilinya not being here. So in 2 weeks from tonight, we will resume with Brilinya. That'll give Megan a couple weeks to figure out a little more about the Weeping Friars. But that's actually a callback to one of the earlier episodes. I believe it was episode 7 or 8 when you had an encounter with the Weeping Friars when you guys returned back in. So, yeah, this. I love these. I didn't feel the need to really push a whole lot of dice stuff. I mean, this definitely felt very natural, very organic to deal with the everybody dealing with the betrayal of Salida, and I wasn't even sure how that was gonna to play out. At one point, I thought Dunala was literally going to just behead her. There was one point I thought Ubo, when he stood up, I thought Ubo was just going to say, you know what? And just jam his staff down her throat or something. So I didn't know what you guys were going to do with that.
Jake's like, I'm not about that life, dog.
And Kylosaurus gauntlet to the face.
I didn't think the only thing I can keep thinking with Ubo is he's still trying to have a conversation with Brill for the last 3 months, and he can't do it. It's always awkward. So he's.
How do I admit my feelings to this different species?
No, it isn't about that. It isn't about romantic feelings. It's about purpose. And right now he doesn't have one. He's just kind of wandering. Eventually, hopefully, he finds one, or we just kill him. Whatever.
For Vale, it's about romantic feelings.
That's fine, Vale.
No, that's the funny thing. It's not really.
Oh, look, I don't want to hear.
It kind of is, but it isn't.
Vale is head over heels for Brilinya. That's how I see it.
I just want to smack the shit out of Denala every time.
I don't know because, you know, I'm kind of shy in that regard.
I'm kind of shy when it comes to wanty lovers, but I mean, if you could talk me into it.
No.
Mike's like, oh,
no, I don't know. It just, you know, the molting would be weird. The shedding of the skin thing.
On that note,
it doesn't have to be weird. Just think of it as a new avenue to
Don't
travel.
disconnect, Drake. We're still live.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I'm surprised as you are.
We'll go ahead and.
4:30 CrossFit is kicking my ass, man.
Well, we stopped a half hour earlier than we normally would.
I know, and I appreciate that.
So,
Bitchin',
all right.
Drake.
So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give each of you a chance. Go ahead and say your goodbyes, but don't actually leave, Drake, until we're off the air.
Can I go first?
But I want to thank everybody for a fantastic RP session. What was episode 24 of our Chult of Personality Tomb of Annihilation campaign, as everybody's getting over dealing with the betrayal of their longtime guide. And they have a little more direct guidance on where they're going, but still have a long journey ahead of them. So, Drake.
Oh, I'm coming.
Who are you, and where can we find you, and all that good stuff?
I'm Drake from the RPG Construct. I play Ubo, the monk who doesn't know how to monk, as Mike has said today. And that's about it. I'll try to monk better next session. Thanks.
And Marquise.
I'm Marquise. No one likes my character, but I like my character, and that's what matters. You can find me at whommarquise.blogspot.com. That's whom with 2 M's and then Marquise. So technically it's 3 M's, but I mean, if you pronounce it that way, it's whom Arquise, and that's not right. But that's that.
Mike.
I believe Brill, aka Megan, the coolest one of us all, is next.
No, I said you.
Yeah, wait a second.
Is there a reason you want to go last?
There's been Chult.exe.
I thought we were going in reverse order, so
No.
I went first. Oh, okay.
No, it's an order. I started in the lower right, went up to Marquise, over to you.
Okay, just
Wait, do you mean I'm going again? Is that what's happening?
No,
No, you fail at everything.
Oh, okay.
you can't even agree on how to do an outro.
I know.
I did
We
mine.
just-
And you're the chosen one of Ooptao? Chult is
mean-
screwed.
Pretty much, yeah. Ooptao could have picked a lot of different people, but no. Let's pick the half elf slacker and slash cynic. Hello, my name is Mike. I run the channel on YouTube, Mike the Piper. I'm also on the Twitter, which is right like that. Nope, stupid. There it is. Nope,
Yep,
too
you got
far.
it.
There we go. Right there. You can follow me if you'd like. Always happy to meet new people and get playing more games and stuff. And I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of games at some point. I'm going to be running a couple of more campaigns. One I'm even planning on running in Taldore, which some people may have heard of. I don't know. It's this really like niche kind of like, you know, hipster cool kind of setting in D&D. Yeah, more to come on that.
And Megan.
Hi, I'm Megan. I am one half of the Dice on Ice YouTube channel. We also have a Twitter, and we've made 2 tweets, so that's exciting. So yeah, you can find me there, and we'll be running we'll actually be running a horror game coming up pretty soon, which I am really excited. So keep your eyes out for that.
She runs very creepy horror games.
Yeah, her.
I've been in one with Jake, and I still kind of get wigged out when I hear that weird voice. It's terrible.
And I'm Jake, Mini Terrain Domain. You can find us right here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Mini Terrain Domain, on YouTube at youtube.com/Mini Terrain. And I'm going to see if I can do this. Boom. Right there at MTD_Jake on the Twitters. And I'm going to jump over here real quick because I want to show off our promo for this Thursday at 8:30 Eastern is The Wards of Witching Ways by Christopher Zarathustra, better known as Chris Perkins. The first adventure he had published in Dungeon Magazine number 11 way back when. This will start off intending to be a one-shot, but may turn into a two-shot with some amazing players. So be sure to tune in here on Thursday for that game. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Thank you to Chalice and Chains for hosting us for the duration of this game. We appreciate that, Sam. And thank you to everybody else who tuned in and was a part of the chat. And thank you to Mike, Marquise, Megan, and Drake. And so we bid you good night with a smooth and sultry Mittada. And I'm sorry,